Welcome to my channel Old Valuable Coins. If you have a wheat penny at home, you might be holding a hidden fortune. The most expensive wheat penny ever discovered is the legendary 1943 bronze wheat penny, a rare minting mistake created when leftover bronze planchets were accidentally used during wartime. Only a handful exist, and one sold for over $1 million at auction. Collectors love this coin for its rarity, historical value, and the impossible odds of finding one today. Check your old penny jars, pocket change, and inherited collections, because a simple 1943 penny that sticks to a magnet is steel, but if it doesn't stick, you could be holding one of the most valuable coins in American history. Keep checking your change. You never know what treasure you might find. Coin number 1, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny, is one of the most searched, most collected, and most fascinating American 1-cent coins ever made. In this video, we take a deep dive into the history, the minting details, the metal composition, the rare errors, and the potential value that collectors look for in the 1944 penny. This coin is famous because it was struck during World War II, a time of major changes in US coinage. In 1943, pennies were made of steel, but in 1944 the mint returned to a bronze composition. But not all 1944 pennies are the same, and some unusual mint errors can make a single coin worth thousands of dollars today. Collectors search these coins constantly because certain varieties are extremely valuable. Let's explore everything that makes the 1944 wheat penny special and what details matter most. The 1944 penny was minted in very large numbers, with 3 different mint locations producing the coin: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia pennies have no mint mark, Denver pennies have a D mint mark, and San Francisco pennies have an S mint mark. Together, these mints produced well over 1 billion coins in 1944, making this coin one of the most common wheat pennies ever made. But despite the huge mintage, rare varieties still exist. What makes a valuable 1944 penny is not the year itself, but the combination of metal composition, strike clarity, mint mark placement, and unique mistakes made during production. Understanding these details is key for collectors. The composition of the 1944 penny is important. These pennies were made of 95% copper with small amounts of tin and zinc. That bronze composition gives them the familiar reddish-brown color that collectors recognize. However, a small handful of 1944 pennies were mistakenly struck on leftover steel planchets from 1943. These steel 1944 pennies are some of the rarest Lincoln cents ever discovered, and they can be worth extremely high amounts because only a tiny number exist. They stick to a magnet, have a silver-gray color, and stand out dramatically from normal 1944 bronze pennies. Because so many collectors search for them, they have become legendary in the coin world. Another factor that collectors study closely is the condition and sharpness of the details. A crisp strike shows clear lines in Lincoln's beard, sharp rims, clean wheat stalks on the reverse, and strong lettering. Even a common 1944 penny can be desirable if it has outstanding detail and excellent preservation. Many people find these pennies in old jars, drawers, and inherited collections, and they may not realize that condition makes a huge difference in value. Smooth surfaces, natural color, and original luster attract collectors. Changes in color such as deep red, bright red, or darker brown can also influence desirability. The better the overall preservation, the more interest the coin may receive. Mint mark variations are another important part of the 1944 penny story. For example, the 1944 D penny and the 1944 S penny can show differences in the size, shape, and placement of their mint marks. During the 1940s, mint marks were applied by hand, meaning small variations naturally occurred. Some collectors enjoy searching for repunched mint marks, where the letter was punched more than once. These varieties are small details but can make a coin more collectible. They give each coin more personality and create more opportunities for collectors to find something interesting. The reverse side of the 1944 penny carries the classic wheat ears design. The wheat ears symbolize prosperity and growth. Collectors pay close attention to the wheat lines, the spacing, and the strength of the lettering. Any doubling, die cracks, or unusual features can make a difference in desirability. The phrase e pluribus unum, the denomination 1 cent, and the words United States of America all appear clearly when the coin is well struck. Understanding how the reverse should look helps collectors recognize unusual variations. Some of the most talked about 1944 penny errors include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, and doubled dies. These errors occur when something goes wrong in the minting process, either with the planchette, the die, or the machinery. Off-center errors happen when the coin is not aligned properly during striking. Clipped planchets occur when the blank metal disc is mistakenly cut too close to the edge of the metal sheet. Die cracks appear when a die develops fractures from repeated use. Even small errors can increase a coin's uniqueness and value because they appeal to collectors who enjoy unusual pieces. The 1944 steel penny is by far the most famous error associated with this year. Only a tiny number from each mint are believed to exist. These coins were not intended to be struck in steel, but leftover planchets from 1943 created accidental misstrikes. A genuine 1944 steel penny will stick to a magnet, weigh slightly less than a bronze penny, and have a different color tone. Many imitations and altered coins exist, so collectors are cautious, but the genuine examples are extremely rare and highly sought after. The excitement around discovering one continues even today. Collectors also look closely at color and surface characteristics. A bright, original red color is the most desirable, especially for older wheat cents. Over time, copper darkens naturally, turning brown or deep red brown. This is normal aging and still appreciated by collectors when the coin has even, natural surfaces. Spotting, corrosion, or heavy scratches can reduce desirability, but many 1944 pennies survive in very nice condition because they were saved in rolls or kept as souvenirs. Understanding color grading terms helps collectors describe the coin more accurately. Another reason the 1944 penny stays popular is its connection to the World War II era. People enjoy owning a piece of history from a time of global change. The penny reminds us of the shift from steel in 1943 back to copper in 1944. For many collectors, this story adds emotional value to the coin. It represents resilience, production strength, and the wartime economy. This historical context keeps demand strong and makes the 1944 penny an easy entry point for new collectors. The 1944 penny is also a favorite in coin roll hunting. Many collectors enjoy searching through rolls of pennies hoping to find older wheat cents, mint mark varieties, or even a rare steel strike. While finding the steel version is extremely unlikely, it remains a dream find for roll hunters. People also enjoy discovering bright, well-preserved examples from the Denver or San Francisco mint. The experience of searching adds excitement and keeps interest in the 1944 penny alive. Collectors frequently compare the three mint versions, 1944 with no mint mark, 1944D, and 1944S. Even though all three are common in general circulation, the San Francisco mint typically minted fewer coins, making the 1944S slightly less common. However, all three can be interesting depending on the condition and any potential varieties. Studying small differences helps collectors build full sets of wheat pennies from different years and mints. Coin number 2, the 1945 1-cent coin, is part of the classic Lincoln wheat cent series, a design that ran from 1909 to 1958. These coins are instantly recognizable because of the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse, a simple design that represents America's agricultural strength. On the obverse, we see the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected figures in American history. This combination of strong symbolism, long history, and widespread mintage makes the 1945 penny one of the most familiar coins in circulation even today. Many people still find these coins in jars, drawers, old boxes, and sometimes in circulation, making them popular among collectors who love searching for hidden value. Even though the 1945 penny is common, it carries incredible historical significance. This coin was minted during the final year of World War II, a time when the entire world was changing. Factories in the United States were working at full speed producing military equipment, and metal was being conserved for war use. In fact, just a few years earlier in 1943, the government even changed pennies to steel because copper was needed for ammunition. By 1945, the United States Mint returned fully to copper-based pennies, and this simple 1-cent coin became a symbol of the country moving toward peace and recovery. Holding a 1945 penny is like holding a small piece of American wartime history. The composition of the 1945 penny is mostly copper, along with small amounts of zinc and tin. This gives the coin its rich reddish-brown color when new, although most examples today appear brown or dark brown due to natural aging. Copper coins from this era can develop interesting toning, which some collectors admire. Because the 1945 penny contains real copper, it also has a distinct weight and feel, different from modern zinc pennies which were introduced decades later. One reason people search for 1945 wheat pennies is because certain coins can be worth more depending on mint mark, condition, rarity, and special characteristics. The 1945 penny comes in three mint varieties: the 1945 with no mint mark from Philadelphia, the 1945D from Denver, and the 1945S from San Francisco. All three mints produced millions of pennies that year, but variations in mintage and survival rates mean some types can be slightly harder to find in nice condition. While most circulated examples are common, uncirculated coins, red-colored coins, and coins with special characteristics can attract more collector interest. Collectors love studying the details of 1945 pennies to look for hidden value. Even without specialized equipment, you can visually inspect your coin for sharpness of details, clarity of the lettering, signs of wear, and overall eye appeal. The wheat stalks on the back should show clear lines, and Lincoln's hair above the ear should be visible if the coin is in better shape. A sharply detailed coin tends to be more desirable and can bring a premium compared to worn coins. Now let's talk about one of the most exciting parts of collecting old pennies: error coins and varieties. Some 1945 pennies left the mint with mistakes that today make them far more interesting and sometimes more valuable. These mint errors occur during the striking process and can include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, repunched mint marks, lamination errors, and doubling in the lettering. Collectors around the world love finding these unusual coins because they stand out from regular examples. A 1945 penny with a dramatic error can be worth far more than a standard one, depending on rarity and how noticeable the error is. Another variety collectors search for is the repunched mint mark, especially on 1945D and 1945S coins. This happens when the mint employee punches the mint mark more than once, creating a shadow-like effect. These varieties are fun to hunt for and can give your coin added interest and potential value. Strong die cracks, die chips in areas like the date or lettering, and doubling on the motto or numbers can also attract collectors who specialize in error coins. Along with errors, eye appeal plays a major role in the value of any 1945 penny. A coin that has bright luster, smooth surfaces, and a pleasing overall look can be far more desirable than a dull or heavily worn example. Natural toning can sometimes add appeal, especially when the color is attractive and even. Collectors often prefer coins that look original, meaning they haven't been cleaned or scratched. Cleaning a 1945 penny can lower its desirability because experts can usually tell when a coin has been scrubbed or polished. Another important factor for collectors is the history of where these pennies were found. Many 1945 pennies come from old rolls, jars, bank bags, and collections that have been untouched for decades. Finding a bright red coin that has been preserved since the 1940s can be an exciting moment for any collector. Because copper reacts to the environment, storing these coins in a dry, cool place can help preserve their color and prevent spotting or corrosion. Let's explore why collectors still care so much about the 1945 penny even though millions were made. First, it represents a nostalgic era in US history. Second, it's part of a long-running series that many people enjoy completing. And third, it remains an accessible and affordable coin to collect. This makes the 1945 penny an excellent starting point for beginners who want to learn the basics of coin collecting without spending much money. At the same time, it still holds interest for experienced collectors because of its varieties and errors. Searching for a valuable 1945 penny can be an enjoyable experience. Start by checking the mint mark under the date. Then examine the overall condition. Look for any unusual features like doubling, die cracks, off-center strikes, or clipped edges. Compare multiple coins if you have them, because sometimes an error becomes easier to spot when you see differences side by side. Use a simple magnifier if you want a closer look at small details. Another reason many collectors love 1940s pennies is because they come from a time before modern coin production techniques, meaning each die was hand-prepared. This makes small differences and varieties more common, giving collectors more to hunt for. The imperfections of handwork give each coin personality, something that modern machine-polished coins don't offer. The 1945 penny also connects collectors to a period of American resilience. Coins from the early 1940s circulated heavily during wartime, passed through the hands of soldiers, families, workers, and citizens contributing to the war effort. Every 1945 penny carries a story, and that emotional connection adds meaning to the hobby. Many collectors enjoy imagining where their coin has traveled and how many lives it may have touched over nearly 80 years. As we continue exploring, let's talk about long-term preservation. If you want to keep your 1945 penny in the best possible condition, avoid touching it with bare fingers, because oils from the skin can damage copper over time. Store your coin in a holder, small envelope, or protective coin flip. Keep it away from moisture and temperature changes. These simple steps can keep your coins looking nice for years. Coin number 3, the 1951 S penny, was struck at the San Francisco Mint, identified by the small s mint mark located below the date on the obverse of the coin. This coin is part of the iconic wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958 and features Abraham Lincoln on the front and 2 wheat ears on the back. It's a classic piece of American numismatic history, made primarily of copper, and often found in old collections because of the high production numbers during the early 1950s. But even though millions were minted, not all 1951 S pennies are created equal, and certain examples can be worth far more than their face value. The coin's composition is 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, known as bronze, which gives it that deep red or brown tone depending on how it's been preserved over the decades. Over time, copper coins naturally change color, and this can have a major impact on value. Some coins remain bright and shiny with a red appearance, while others tone to a darker brown. Collectors search for the 1951 S penny in the best possible condition, but even circulated coins can hold meaningful value, especially if they show strong details or unique characteristics from the minting process. The mintage of the 1951 S 1-cent coin is important because it tells us how common or rare the coin is overall. More than 136 million were minted at the San Francisco Mint, which is a moderately large number for wheat cents of that era. This means many examples still exist today, but the condition varies widely. Coins found in circulation are typically worn, while coins preserved in old bankrolls or collections might remain much sharper. Even though the mintage is high, the number of coins in excellent condition is much smaller, and that's where value begins to rise. One of the biggest reasons the 1951 S penny is collectible is the presence of rare die errors and variations that appeared during minting. These mistakes can multiply the coin's value dramatically. Some of the known errors include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, die chips, doubling on letters or numbers, and repunched mint marks. The mint mark on this coin was applied by hand during this period, which means the 1951 S penny is known for repunched mint mark varieties where the S appears doubled, tilted, or slightly shifted. These RPM varieties can be some of the most valuable versions of this coin. Another interesting aspect collectors look for is strong strike detail. Some 1951 S pennies have weak wheat ears or fading lines in Lincoln's hair due to worn dies used late in production. Even though these aren't errors, they affect desirability and value because sharp details make the coin stand out. A sharply struck 1951 S penny with clean surfaces and clear luster can be highly prized because these qualities show the coin was made early in the die's life. Let's talk about errors that can bring higher value. Off-center strikes are easy to spot because the design appears shifted to one side. If the date and mint mark remain visible and the off-center amount is significant, the value can increase dramatically. Clipped planchets, where a curved portion of the coin is missing due to a misfeed of the blank metal strip, are also desirable to collectors. Another common type is die cracks or die breaks, which can appear as raised lines on the coin surface. While small cracks don't add major value, larger and more dramatic cracks, especially those near the date or mint mark, can attract premium interest. Repunched mint marks are especially popular for the 1951 S cent. Some examples show the original mint mark slightly to the north, south, east, or west of the final punch. These varieties are searched for heavily by collectors because they create visible doubling that makes the coin unique. Some RPMs have sold for impressive amounts, especially in high-quality examples. If you're checking your 1951 S pennies, take a close look at the mint mark because that tiny detail can make a huge difference. The 1951 S penny also has some examples with light doubling on the date or lettering, although these are not common. Doubling on the motto "In God We Trust," the word liberty, or the numbers in the date can increase collector demand. While not earth-shattering in rarity, a doubled die variety is always attractive to those who search for hidden treasures in everyday coins. Now let's talk about value. Common 1951 S pennies in circulated condition often worth only a few cents to a few dollars, depending on wear, color, and eye appeal. But higher quality examples, especially those that maintain a strong red color or show clear and detailed wheat ears, can be worth significantly more. Rare errors, RPM varieties, or exceptionally preserved coins can jump into much higher price ranges. Some truly exceptional examples have sold for strong premiums, especially when they display the deepest red color, minimal marks, and strong original luster. Copper coins are sensitive to environmental changes, so storage matters a lot. If you own a 1951 S penny, keeping it away from humidity, chemicals, fingerprints, and rough surfaces can help preserve its value. Coins stored properly decades ago often appear brighter today, and those are the types that attract attention from collectors. Even though this coin was created more than 70 years ago, well-preserved pieces still stand out immediately when placed next to worn ones. The historical context of the 1951 penny also makes it enjoyable to own. Post-World War II America was experiencing growth, industrial expansion, and major cultural changes. Pennies from this era were used in everyday life, traveling through the hands of millions of Americans. They bought candy, newspapers, and small goods during a time when a single cent still held purchasing power. Holding a 1951 penny is like holding a tiny piece of mid-century American life. Another fascinating point is how many collectors begin their interest in coins because of wheat pennies like this one. The iconic wheat ears reverse design sparks curiosity instantly, and older pennies create an emotional connection to the past. Searching for rare dates, errors, or high-quality examples has become a popular hobby for people around the world. The 1951 penny is a perfect coin for beginners and advanced collectors alike, offering a blend of affordability and potential rarity. Collectors also enjoy comparing the 1951 with its Philadelphia and Denver counterparts from the same year. While the San Francisco Mint produced a significant number of coins, there are still unique features that set it apart. The small S mint mark gives it identity, and the RPM varieties make it even more exciting. Some collectors build full sets of Lincoln cents and consider the 1951 an essential piece in completing mid-century collections. If you're someone who enjoys coin roll hunting, the 1951 penny is a thrilling find when it appears in bankrolls, although it's becoming increasingly uncommon to see wheat pennies in circulation. But many people still find them in old jars, inherited coin boxes, and attic collections. Searching for errors, bright red examples, or unusual features can turn an ordinary discovery into a valuable one. Coin number 4, and we will explore whether you're a beginner collector or an experienced numismatist. This full breakdown will help you understand why the 1952 penny is still an exciting find. Let's start with the background. The 1952 penny was minted at the Denver Mint, a branch known for producing billions of coins throughout the wheat penny era. In 1952, Denver produced over 746 million 1-cent coins, which means the 1952 penny is not extremely rare in normal circulated condition. But the real story begins when we look at specific minting features, errors, strike quality, and overall preservation. That's where the value climbs, and collectors get excited. Like other wheat pennies, the 1952 features the classic design by Victor David Brenner, with Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse. Even though this design circulated for decades, small variations from year to year and mint to mint give each coin its own identity. Many collectors appreciate the strong rim, the detailed wheat lines, and the clean lettering often seen on 1952 examples. But some coins were not struck perfectly, and those imperfections can actually make a coin worth a lot more. One of the most common reasons a 1952 penny becomes valuable is its condition. Even though millions were minted, most circulated heavily, developed scratches, dings, and discoloration. But a small number survived with sharp details, glossy surfaces, and minimal wear. These high-quality coins are the ones collectors love to chase. When a 1952 penny still shows full wheat lines on the reverse and crisp hair detail on Lincoln's portrait, it becomes far more desirable. Now let's talk about the special characteristics and minting errors, because this is where the 1952 penny becomes truly interesting. Some of the most collected features include die cracks, repunched mint marks, and off-center strikes. The Denver Mint in the early 1950s was known for producing many coins with repunched mint marks, often referred to as RPMs. This means the D mint mark was punched more than once, creating a doubling or shadow effect. Some varieties show the D punched north, south, east, or west of the main mint mark. These varieties are widely collected, and some can sell for impressive prices depending on clarity and rarity. Another error sought after is the die crack error, which appears as a raised line across the coin where the die used to strike the penny started to fracture. These lines can run across Lincoln's portrait, through the date, or across the wheat stalks. Each one is unique, and collectors love these natural minting mistakes. Even small die breaks can add to the desirability of a 1952 penny. You may also find off-center strikes from this year. These occur when the coin blank is not perfectly aligned between the dies during striking, producing a coin where part of the design is shifted to one side. A dramatic off-center strike with a visible date is always worth significantly more than a normal penny. The more dramatic the misalignment, the higher the potential value. Let's talk about value in more detail. In average circulated condition, the 1952 penny is common and affordable, making it a good starting point for new collectors. But when you find sharp detail, strong color, and minimal marks, the price increases. And when you add special features like an RPM, a major die break, or a strong off-center strike, the value jumps again. For example, clean and sharply struck coins with bright luster can sell for much higher prices than average examples. Rare error types, especially bold RPMs, are always in strong demand. Another important factor is the coin's original luster. Copper coins from the 1950s that maintain their natural shine become significantly more appealing. Many pennies from this era darken over time, but a bright original example stands out immediately. Collectors look closely at the surface for any signs of cleaning or artificial shine, so naturally preserved luster is always a premium feature. The Denver Mint also produced coins with varying strike strengths in 1952. Some coins show soft details, especially in Lincoln's beard and coat. Others show full, crisp lines. Well-struck coins carry much more attention from collectors. Even tiny differences in strike quality can mean the difference between a common coin and a valuable one. Now let's explore why the 1952 penny remains so popular today. Many collectors enjoy building wheat penny date and mint mark sets, and the 1952 is an essential part of that set. It's affordable for beginners but also offers enough interesting varieties and errors to keep advanced collectors engaged. The combination of accessibility and hidden value keeps this coin relevant year after year. Beyond its collectible value, the 1952 penny is a small piece of American history. These coins circulated during a time of post-World War II growth, the beginning of the Cold War, and major economic changes in the United States. Everyday people in the 1950s used these pennies in daily life, for groceries, transportation, and savings. Holding a 1952 penny is like holding a tiny time capsule from a very different era. Collectors today also look for red and brown variations. Copper coins naturally change color over time, shifting from bright red to reddish brown or dark brown. A coin that remains fully red is always more desirable. Red examples of the 1952 penny are significantly harder to find in pristine condition, which makes them more valuable for collectors building high-quality sets. Another aspect that affects interest is eye appeal. Even if a coin is not perfect, if it has smooth surfaces, even color, and strong details, it can still attract collectors. Eye appeal often becomes the deciding factor between two coins of the same condition level. Let's also talk about storage and preservation. Copper coins react easily to humidity and oils from handling. Keeping a 1952 penny clean, dry, and protected helps maintain its appearance and value. Collectors often store their wheat pennies in controlled environments to prevent dark toning or corrosion. For those who enjoy searching through coin rolls or inherited collections, the 1952 penny is a great coin to hunt. Many amazing finds come from old jars, inherited albums, or forgotten boxes stored away for decades. Because so many 1952 pennies were produced, there is still a real chance to find a high-quality example or even a valuable era coin. As we get deeper into this discussion, it's clear that the 1952 wheat penny offers something for everyone: history lovers, era collectors, beginners, and long-time numismatists. From mint mark varieties to die cracks and off-center errors, every unique feature adds character and potential value to this small copper coin. Even in today's collecting world, where modern coins and new designs attract attention, classic wheat pennies remain one of the strongest categories. Their simple beauty, historical significance, and widespread appeal keep them high on search lists and collector wish lists. The 1952 penny, sitting right in the middle of the wheat series timeline, remains a dependable and interesting choice for collectors.